after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Minnesota Vikings and the Los Angeles Chargers. Two teams here, each off to 1-0 starts as this one is underway on EA Sports.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line.
They start the drive with Cook. They'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at second down.
Well, this defense for the Chargers, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
To throw on second down, Thurman. He'll dump this off to Cook. And he gets it here to right around the 24 before he's out of bounds. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and this will wind up being a 3rd and 3.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
From the gun on 3rd down, Thurman. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
A nice throw right there. And, Charles, this is game number 2 in the NFL for this young rookie. His guys getting the victory last week, and he played pretty well by most accounts. Curious, what did you see?
I saw something similar to what you described, Brandon, because I saw a guy who looked the part, a guy who was in command, not just with the touchdown passes, but definitely looked to be in control of the offense as well. And you and I both know that's often uncommon for a rookie quarterback.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Off play action. Thurman eluding the pressure right.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Quadre Diggs.
And the Chargers are going to get possession here as they force the opening drive turnover.
Partner, have you ever heard the story of Icarus in mythology? That's the guy who flew too close to the sun and had his wings melted. That was our guy right there. Keeps pressing it and pressing it. Finally, on that throw, he paid the price with that turnover.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense. And know what they say? Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
Escaping the pressure right. Finds the open man. It's Mike Williams. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
On the option, here's Eckler.
A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
The Chargers at 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1, and they were able to get that road victory in the opener. Now they look to get to 2-0 in front of the home crowd.
And look, any road win in the NFL, that's huge. But when you do it Week 1, that gets your point in the right direction and sends notice to the rest of the league that you mean business.
Meanwhile, Herbert's throw caught by his receiver, Hill.
And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 19. The Chargers passing game rolling a bit here. They've got another first.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20.
Herbert operating from the red zone.
He'll get this out wide to Eckler.
And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
running on first down. Eckler. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4.
It's largely been the air attack that's gotten them down here, but now's where you start to lean on that running game. That's a good pickup there on 1st and goal.
2nd and goal from inside the 5.
On the option right, Herbert. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Chargers. Justin Herbert, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Chargers use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. Extra point good by Hopkins. And that makes the score 7-0.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
That's sacked by Khalil Mack. Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. Operating from the gun, Thurman. And he fires one that's intercepted. Derwin James with a pick.
And the Chargers are going to take possession of the football.
I believe this is what you would call growing pains here, partner, because this defense obviously took the challenge facing the rookie, and they wanted to help indoctrinate him to the NFL. So now the big question is, can he answer that challenge and rebound with plenty of time remaining in this game?
Herbert will give this one to Eckler.
And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense the next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
On 2nd and 7, Herbert.
And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them. And I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. This is caught. He's got a touchdown, LA.
Austin Eckler,
his first touchdown of the new season.
And the Chargers lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game.
Hopkins with the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. The kick unit on here for the Chargers as they will send this one away.
The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done to put the game in jeopardy.
The Vikings with the football here to begin the second quarter, as they've got it with a 2nd and 4 coming up. They run it again with Cook.
And they'll stop him after a gain of a couple to the 33. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
On 3rd and 2, Thurman.
And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, I don't think you can even call this an off day anymore, partner, because this group we're watching, they are totally out of rhythm, trying to get their game plan up and running. That 0 on the scoreboard is glaring down at them with every incompletion.
They're going to try and throw. He's going to have his running back. It's complete.
And he is going to pick up the Vikings' first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive.
They're able to keep the drive alive, 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one.
First and 10, it's Patterson.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Back to the ground. This time Cook. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with the bandit.
7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Back to throw. Thurman. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Charger TD. Here's Hopkins now for the extra point. And it is now 21-0. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
From deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here, because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I'll overuse if this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer, because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit, and if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Looking to throw. Thurman setting up the screen for Cook. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Back to throw. Thurman. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
Now, with a rookie quarterback out there, you're definitely going to find out how he handles adversity, because this one so far hasn't gone according to plan. He's got to fight through it and show what he's made of.
The offense on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Looking to throw. Thurman. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
Now Hill to return it.
And he is out of bounds right around the 34. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going.
It has been about as perfect of a start to this game as these guys could have asked for, Charles. They've scored on their first 2 drives. They still haven't given anything up on the other side of the ball, so they can already make this a 3-score game here if they can come away with points on this drive.
Yeah, they're almost pushing them to the brink, aren't they, partner? Almost to the point now where it's a loss of words for me, which I know would excite all of our viewers, but you're just not supposed to see that type of dominance so quickly in a game like this. Everything they've done has been working so far. Offense, defense, you name it, it's going well for them.
A gain there of 21 yards. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Herbert setting up to throw on 1st down. He's got it to Williams. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
On 2nd down, Eckler. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain that time, as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Herbert on 3rd down now. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
On is the punter, Townsend, as he gets this one away.
And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And Charles, you're down multiple scores, less than a minute left here. But with that,
I'm going to go ahead and date myself one more time because I'm going to quote an old Smokey and the Bandit lyric. They've got a long way to go and a short time to get there. But they still have time to get it done. So I'm looking forward to watching them mount this drive and see if they can get some points out of it.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Back to throw. Thurman. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1.
So his first sack of the game, and CD, not his first of the season. He has shown an ability to get after the quarterback here early in his rookie year.
Yeah, and that just goes along with everything else we already knew about him. We knew his ability to tackle and to make plays behind the line of scrimmage.
Under pressure, they got him again. Now a second timeout called for by the defense, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first.